Hello folks, no beating around the bush. Here's 10 things you absolutely need to know about the final shape. Right, okay, here we go. Number 1, how we get exotic armor is now changing. Rahul is now the man. You see, as of the final shape, he's going to have his own reward track. And the more exotic engrams you decode with him, the more you're going to increase his reputation. Now, once you reset this first rank, so you go through right the way through all the ranks, Rahul will then let you into his elite club. Yes, this also confirms, of course, that Rahul is a complete snob. And this elite club will give you access to a new tier of focusing. Once you do this and become one of the problems in a meritocracy dictated by the incredibly evil and snobby Rahul, you will then be able to purchase any piece of exotic armor for any character on your account for 1 exotic engram and 1 exotic cipher. And this, of course, is in addition to the previous focusing options. Now, because this is tied to Rahul's new reputation track, there's no weekly limit on using this tier of focusing. As long as you still have exotic ciphers and engrams, you can keep rolling your armor. Number 2, exotic armor drops are changing out in the world. This is pretty important, right? Because lost sectors, they'll still keep on giving you gear with the same drop rate, but instead of you actually acquiring a piece of gear like you did at the end, you'll just get an exotic engram that you can cash in with Rahul, and of course cashing it in will allow you to increase the reputation for him. Now, one of the other more common sources is the Vex Strike Force encounter on Neomuna, but Bungie have said they're not going to be adding any new armor to this after Season of the Wish, so inevitably it's only going to be good at farming older armor exotic drops. So, number 3, stock up on your exotic engrams. So you've got a full complement going into the final shape, and then you can get that Rahul reward track reset, so you'll have access to the tier focusing options if you need it. Cashing in powerful engrams will give you the lowest reputation points. Next up in the amount of rep points is opening a normal exotic engram, and then finally, targeting a specific piece of armor when you decrypt will give you the most reputation points. It's funny though, they don't actually make it clear. They say using Ascendant shards, but they've also mentioned exotic ciphers as well, so we'll have to see what the true cost is of the focusing when the final shape hits us in the face. Number 4, get ready for a change. Xur is going to be getting a rework, and it's about time. Xur could be an amazing source of goodies, different weapon loot pools, buffs, little secrets, little rewards, and maybe even some missions, I suppose. So I really do hope we get a decent rework with him so everyone has a reason to visit him on Friday and watch my weekly video. Sorry, did I say that out loud? Number 5, we're getting a big inventory boost. We're getting an extra 100, yes, that's right, 100 inventory slots in the final shape, which brings the total number to, now I've written 6,000 down here, but I think what I mean is 600, yes, 600 inventory slots. So now you've got a much bigger opportunity to be indecisive and keep everything that looks like it could be awesome, and then realize by the first Friday after final shape releases that you're totally full again. Hurrah! Number 6, power levels are changing big time. So first thing you need to know, we're getting something called Fire Team power, and that means that everybody in your Fire Team will be brought up to being 5 below the most powerful player on that team. So this is great for your teammates who will no longer think that your in-game name is Revive. The new Pinnacle cap, or the Hard cap, this is the highest power level you can reach without extra power from the artifact. Now that's going to be 2,000. So this will become really useful for folks who want to join in and try higher level stuff without waiting on the grind to get your own personal power level up to scratch. But will this make us all really lazy? Well, yes it will. But the rewards you get will reflect your actual current power level, so no slacking there, you're still going to have to grind yourself up. Number 7, 1 power level to rule them all, and this is one of my favourite changes, because basically all your drops across all your characters will get the power level that your highest character level is. So for example, if you're the highest with your Titan, whatever you drop on your Warlock, you will get the Titan level drops, so you're not going to have to grind for each of them individually. individually. So you will no longer be at a disadvantage if you tend to play one class over the other. You see, I love all 3 classes, but I tend to use my Warlock more than the other 2. Just out of habit more than anything else. But I do love my Void Hunter and I love my Strand Titan. So I won't have to worry about armor drops and levels anymore because they're all going to come dropping in at the highest level that my Warlock is. It's great. I'm keeping them all battle ready and it really opens up the game so you can just pick and choose and get to use them more often than you normally would. Love it. Number 8, Sunset is sunset. Yes, every weapon is back in play. It's that simple. Now, the reason why they did this was because of the new Fire Team power method. It brings everybody up to within a 5 power level of the highest member of the team. So if you happen to have a sunset weapon equipped, it would have brought that up to power there, or it might have caused a bug or made a crash or something. So they decided to knock all that sunset cobblers on the head, and now we can use any weapon we want. However, chances are, like me, you probably will have deleted a lot of them. But you know, it's still cool. You might have some of the odd thing thrown away. It'll be interesting though to see if you can pull old ritual weapons, like for example the older version of Randy's throwing knife or the Komodo or whatever. What's that one? There's a shotgun as well that's really cool in Gambit. Anyway, you know the one. I think it's a really good idea and it'll be nice to be able to get some of the older stuff out of mothballs. Number 9, Legendary Shards are going. Now, I know you probably know this already, but Legendary Shards are such a big part of the economy, I just wanted to reinforce it. So what can you do with them? Well, first of all, Phantasmal Fragments. That's at the lectern of enhancement on the moon next door to Eris. You can just buy them directly using your Legendary Shards, take them down to Rahul and exchange them for Glimmer, because Glimmer is going to be playing a massive role going forward as there's less and less alternate currencies. You could perhaps buy some raid banners to get from Hawthorne. That's incredibly useful. And something I did read earlier as well, now this is really good, although I haven't seen it yet myself. If you want to get enhancement cores, keep an eye on Banshee. Now, Banshee resets at midnight every, day, UK time for his weapons. So his weapons will change basically every 24 hours. So that's midnight UK time. But what can happen is that he can have a masterworked weapon for sale. Now, it's masterworked to a tier 5 or higher. That's what you're looking for. If you see that, buy as many of them as you can with the Legendary Shards, because when you dismantle them, you'll be able to get enhancement cores. That's really, really useful, but make sure it says at least level 5 on the masterwork there in order for you to buy it and cash it in. Otherwise, it's a complete waste of time. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes peeled, and if I see any popping up, I'll pop out a short or some kind of announcement so you know that they're there for that day. I always seem to be low on enhancement cores because I regularly fail to engage in the more grindy aspects of Destiny 2, so I tend to fall short on these type of materials. And number 10, ritual bounties and vendor challenges are going away. Now, ritual bounties are the bounties, of course, the Zavala, Shacks and the Drifter cells, but if you have a look at the tower map page and you hover over each of the vendors, for example, we're looking at Zavala here, it says complete 8 bounties, and that's a weekly challenge there. You complete 8 bounties, you'll get a pinnacle reward, and you'll also get some bright dust. That's going, as well as all of the bounties, so no more will that be. We're going to have something called a Pathfinder system, which looks like it might be a bit more interesting because you might have a choice as to how you earn your pinnacle reward. You won't just be stuck grinding bounties. You can pick your way through, which does look pretty good. Whether that'll be changing every week, I don't know, but there we go, a new Pathfinder system. So do not bother collecting bounties now if you've got them. I'm terribly sorry, you won't be able to cash them in when the final shape comes along because they'll just be erased from your inventory as far as we tell. So there we go, that's them dead. But you can, however, still grind other bounties from off-tower vendors. So that's the people from the planetary vendors. You can still get the weekly stuff from Eris, from the Lectern of Divination. No, it's not. The Lectern of Enhancement. That's the one. So yes, all of those you can do. The Ascendant bounties. I'm actually doing weekly videos on the Ascendant bounties as well, so you can do the Ascendant challenges. If you want to check those out, all those weeklies are 12,000 XP. Very, very useful indeed. So 10 incredibly useful things that you need to know about the final shape. Let me know in the comments. Have you got anything else that you want to know? Now, I know we're getting weapon buffs and all that kind of thing, but these were the 10 things that stood out to me the most that make the biggest changes to our everyday life in Destiny 2. But if there's something that I've missed, draw attention to it in the comments and we'll have a little look and we'll all can comment and laugh. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Oh, and if you did enjoy the vid, a like and subscribe would be utterly fantastic. And I shall see you all again very soon. Sausage hurt.